Alright, so it is week 13, day 7. This is the last day of the first 3 months. So it's the last day of the first quarter, which is the last day of the muscle endurance toning segment that I've been doing. I don't know if you've been doing it. I've been doing it. So last day of week 13, last day of the month, last day of the 3 months. This is going to also be like a little recap. I know I usually talk a lot in the first beginning anyway, but I kind of went over my pockets. Kind of went over some of it yesterday, but I want to go over a little more today because I got my results this morning as well. So I'm going to do that before we get into it, and then it's just going to be doing a 20-minute stretch, 20-minute full body stretch. Because I know I'm already running low on time, but for me to get out and go to work. So. All right, so for those of you watching on YouTube, obviously after the fact, I'm going to put some pictures up here for you guys watching lives, if you happen to be here and stay for it. I'm just going to try to read it off as descriptively as possible to make sure whatever is in the pictures here is described well enough. Alright, so I'm going to pop up for you guys here on YouTube the 3-month comparison. So start 1 month, 2 month, 3 month, and I will basically read off the info. Alright, so I started on April 11th, so the day before, April 10th, would be my before picture. And the weight I started at was 201.8 pounds. With the rough estimate, body fat is 32.5%. Again, I use one of those body fat scales you can buy at Walmart. Sends like electronic signal through your body and reads the resistance in your body, and it fluctuates. It's never always accurate, but it's a good gauge to go off. So, but it can be thrown off, by being dehydrated, by being overhydrated, being sick, using creatine, things like that can throw your body fat percentage off on the scales by a few percent, but usually just a few percent. So it's a good gauge, but don't if you use those, I don't want you to be upset if it goes up 1 week, down the next week, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up. Not a big deal. If it keeps going up, then there might be an issue. But anyway, so 32.5 was what it said on that day before. The BMI was 31.6, and my waistline, technically your waistline is up here. Yes, for you two guys, your waistline is up here. This is where you bend. That's your waist. These are your hips, where the rest of the bends. Okay. So I call it my waistline, but it's the widest part of my stomach, so it's basically just about a ½ inch to an inch below my belly button, basically where the love handles, these fun things here are. So it's the widest part of my stomach, but I just write down waistline. So was 46.25. That's the biggest I've ever been. I know that's not like huge, but it's big, and I didn't like it at all. So after 1 month, I dropped from 201.8 pounds down to 195.4 pounds. Body fat went from 32.5 to 28.6. BMI went from 31.6 to 30.6, and the waistline dropped from 46.25 to 44.5. So that's the 1 month. From 1 month to 2 months, I went from the 195.4 to 188.4. Body fat went from 28.6 to 25.9. BMI 30.6 to 29.5. And the waistline 44.5 down to 42.5. And for current, 2 months, 3 months, I went 188.4 to 183.8. 25.9% body fat to 25.6. Now that's what it read 2 weeks in a row, minus last week. Last week it went up because I was sick and I was dehydrated. So, but it's back to 25.6, which is fine. Again, it's going back down in the right direction. It's fine. It's not accurate. BMI went from 29.5 to 28.8, and the waistline dropped from 42.5 to 41.25. That's a good average pace for weight loss over a month, 2 month, 3 month time frame, and fat loss as well. Again, I'm only measuring right here. I'm not measuring everywhere else. If I actually was measuring everywhere else, you know, say here, my hips, you know, the fat of my arms, my chest, my inner thighs, my glutes, all that, there'd be a lot more fat loss to show, because you're like, well, all in all, I lost like 6 inches off my body in various places. So, just basically fudge numbers to make it look better, but it's still loss. So, the main concern that I have is right here, because that's the biggest part, and that's everything else is going to take care of itself if this continually goes down. So that's that. Now, I mentioned yesterday I found my comparison from 8 years ago when I busted my ass. You know, if you've been watching these videos, and I might talk too much, but I'm doing a pretty decent, semi-intense workout consistently 6 days a week. But basically 8 years ago, what you see here that I'm doing, if you look at the, if you go to one of my YouTube videos, the description tells you what I'm doing on TikTok and also in the Fitness Journey playlist, both that and YouTube, will have a description of exactly what I'm doing. But basically, what I'm doing over the week, I'm hitting all the muscle groups twice a week, but I'm doing like 3 different exercises roughly per muscle group on the days that I'm doing it. So Monday and Thursday there are 3 different exercises. So Monday would be for chest, bench press, dumbbell flies, and incline bench press. And then on Thursday, it's a cable pullover, decline press, and decline flies. So, and then I'm doing a 20 to 30 minute warm-up / cardio before my workout. So I can get my cardio in and also hit my warm-up at the same time. Now take all of that and condense that into 3 days. I was doing everything I did in those 6 days in 3 days, and then I repeated that for the second half of the week. On top of which I was doing on average 4 45-minute cardios in the evening. So I would get up, I would do my workout, which took about 3 hours, and then I would go to work, then I would come home, and then I would do a 45-minute cardio, roughly 4 days a week. Not every week, but for the most part, 4 days a week. I would do it pretty much every day, but leg days. Just because I didn't want to like blast my legs the day, and then come home and start jumping around and doing a bunch of cardio shit. So I lost the fat a lot quicker, but I also started at a lower measurement. The only measurements I could find on my charts from back then was my waist measurements and these pictures. So I'm going to pop that I put that picture up on yesterday's video, but I'm going to pop it up here again. And I'm going to put my current 3-month picture next to it too, so you can see a comparison here. I gotta go back to it. So back in 2014, it was September to December, is what these pictures are here. So I started out at 42 inches then. So I was started to this time at 46 and a quarter, so it's a lot bigger than I was when I started there. But in the first month, I dropped 2 3/4 of an inch. So that is down to from 42 to 39 and a quarter. From October to November, I dropped another 2 3/4 of an inch. So that took me down to, if I had the picture up, it would help. I'm looking at my numbers here as opposed to the picture, because I actually wrote down so I didn't have to do math in my head while I was down here. So it wouldn't take so long, but now I'm fudging around with this stuff. So. All right. Okay, so yeah, 42 to 39 and a quarter from September to October. That is 2 3/4 of an inch. October to November, down from 39 and a quarter to 36 and a half. It's another 2 3/4 of an inch. However, from November to December, that was 36 and a half to 35. So it was only inch and a half at that point. But as you get smaller, it's harder to get the fat off. So it's kind of right in line with what it was. So it's perfectly fine. And I'm gonna see if I can, for you guys on YouTube, obviously it's right there, but for you live people, if there's anybody here, this was 4 years ago. There you go for Twitch. You can see how far down I got there. Is that the right one? Yeah, that's the right one. So I got pretty close to where I actually wanted to be. Here's nobody on Instagram, but got pretty close to where I wanted to be pretty quickly. And comparing what I did there versus what I've been doing for the past 3 months, that makes a lot of sense on how much I lost at that point versus what I'm losing at this point. So I lost a total of 7 inches off my stomach at that point. I was pretty darn close to getting my 6-pack and nice tights, everything. This time I lost 5 inches in 3 months. Now, again, comparing what I did then and how hard I worked to get to that 7 inches versus what I'm doing now, again, I'm working hard, but I'm not, revolving everything around the workout. More revolving everything around posting everything about the workout. But 7 inches versus 5 inches, doing 6 weeks of 3 sets of 10, then 6 weeks of a reverse pyramid. So starting as heavy as I can go to get about 3 reps out, and then dropping the weight for 5 sets, and then basically doing about 50 reps per exercise. Twice a week, and cardio. It seems like what I'm doing now is nearly as effective as going overboard like before. So, yes. So if you want to lose the fat super quick, you got to put in all the extra effort. But if you want to lose the fat at a good pace, a decent steady pace, that's pretty close to that. It is pretty close to that. I mean, 5 inches versus 7 inches is not a big difference. Just saying, ladies. Just kidding. Anyway, it's like I put in like 2.5 to 3 times as much effort to lose an extra 2 inches than I lost this time. Because I was doing 1 set of 30, and then I was doing 2 sets of 15 versus the hard-hitting workout I was doing there. I think there's something saying about as long as you're working hard, you don't have to go overboard to make it work. actually heard that word or not. So yeah, and now the next 3 months is going to be pretty much as hard hitting as that was without the additional cardio at night. I'm not going to do the additional cardio. The only change in my warm-up routine is I'm going to go back to what I did the first 6 weeks, where I'm doing the turbo jams for the warm-ups. So I'll be doing the 20-minute workouts on Monday. I'll be doing the ab jam on Tuesday. And then as opposed to doing the burn section of the Learn and Burn, which is a very light routine, because it's basically that Learn and Burn video, she shows you how to do the moves, her core moves, like her turbo twist, things like that, things that she has like names for. And then she's like, okay, now we're going to put them all together in a simple routine. It's about 15 minutes. It's a nice warm-up. It's a very nice warm-up to do. And it's very good for people who haven't done type aerobic stuff, where you choreograph aerobics, to see how it's done before they jump into one of the actual videos and get kind of lost in it. So instead of doing that one, I'm actually going to do their Fat Blaster video, which is 30 minutes, and it's a lot more intense. It should be more intense than the 20-minute workout, which is fairly decent for a 20-minute workout. And again, it all depends on how much effort you put into it as well. But that should also help with fat loss there, on top of doing intervals in between sets. So I'll be doing nothing major. I'm not going to be doing anything major. I'm not going to be jumping up and down doing burpees and high knees and run up and down steps and shit. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing a high intensity interval. I'm kind of doing a moderate intensity interval for this. So basically what I'll be doing is I'll do my set of 10 bench presses. I'll come over here like I always do, and I'll be like, all right, so first set I did such and such pounds, 10 reps. I'm going to keep that the same for the second set, or I'm going to add 5 more pounds to the second set. I'll set my thing down, I'll hit my timer over here, and I'll jog and play. I mean, I'll just kind of jog and place a little bit, because you need the rest in between the sets. The heavier you go in your set, the longer rest time you need for your muscles to recoup. So, as opposed to just standing here and talking for a minute or 2 minutes, which will usually end up leading me into talking for 5 minutes, 6 minutes, because I won't shut the fuck up. That's just me. So, I'll hit my timer, I'll do my 1 minute, I'll stop it, and then I'll come over and either add the weight that I need extra, or just start the set. And then in between exercises, I'll just set up for the next exercise. That'll take care of the rest time for that. So adding a little bit extra cardio than I did before, and then adding the intervals in between sets as opposed to standing here, should help keep the heart rate up, should help burn a little extra fat, on top of lifting heavier weights, which will also make the muscles need a little bit longer to recover throughout the day, which will keep me burning calories longer throughout the day, as opposed to when I did the 1 of 30 and the 2 of 15. So, what I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to pop it up here. I kind of did a makeshift 3-month thing here. I know the next 3 months is going to go from tomorrow until October 10th-ish. So July, October, July to October, August, September, October. So it'll go to October 9th. That'll be the last day of the 3 months. But I'm starting this week, this 3 months, at 41 and a quarter. So I want an accurate comparison to that one from 8 years ago. So I started at 42 inches yeah, in September of 2014. I started at 42 inches, and I believe, if I'm correct, week 11. So week 11, I was at 42 inches on my stomach. So that was June 26th. So a month from then will be about July 24th. That'll be the closest Sunday to 1 month. That'll be my 15-week mark, and we'll see how that compares to the 1 month mark, the October 2014 picture. And then we'll compare week 20, which is August 28th, with the November picture, and see where we're at, November 14 picture. And then week 24 is September 25th, and that will be the comparison to this December of 14 picture, to see where we're at there. So it'll be really cool if I'm down to 35 on September 25th, but I'll be happy if I'm down to like 36 by the end of the 3 months, you know. So by October 9th, I'll be happy if I'm down to about 36. I'll be happy with that. But it'd be really cool if I can hit those same numbers without doing all the extra cardio at night as well. I doubt that's going to happen, but before I wasn't doing interval training either, so I wasn't doing the extra cardio in between sets. So maybe. We'll see how it plays out, but like I said, if the next 3 months, if I can drop, what did I drop? I dropped 5 inches this time in this first 3 months. It's going to be a little more intense for the next 3 months, so hopefully at minimum, I can drop another 5 inches, which will put me at 36 and a quarter. So that's about right. So if I get 36, I'll be a happy camper by the end of the next 3 months. So, yeah. So my goal for this 6-week segment, 7-week segment, the second half of the 3 months, when we started the 2 of 15 segment, I said that I wanted to be down to 180 pounds, but 183.8. Whatever, I'm fine with that. I wanted to be 22.5% body fat. I'm at 25.5. Whatever. And a 40-inch waistline. That I'm a little disappointed about. But then again, I was basing it off of the first 6 weeks, which you also have to remember. Once you start working out and you're heavier and you haven't done a lot, your body is working harder to recoup. So there's a lot more calories burned in the beginning, a lot more fat loss in the beginning. You will always notice, as long as you're doing what you're supposed to do, your diet and your exercise plan, you will always notice in the first few weeks, first month and a half or so, that you're going to lose a lot more than you're going to lose later on. Once your body gets used to moving around and eating a certain way, your body starts to, like I said, get used to it. So you're not going to lose as much. Your body's trying to retain what it has and doesn't want to get rid of it. Let's go stretching. Yeah, I talked too much. But then again, this is the 3-month recap too, so I was kind of going over that as well too. But I think I've pretty much gone over everything anyway. So again, starting tomorrow, my supplement regimen is kind of changing. I still have some H&B tablets left over because this week I really wasn't taking them as much, just because I kept forgetting about them, and I wasn't actually doing my normal routine. So it wasn't like, get up, I eat my protein bar, grab my pills, and I come down here. My normal daily vitamin mineral routine's not changing. That is a multivitamin, ashwagandha root, turmeric pill, and a fish oil pill. That's what I take every day. That's just healthy stuff to take. The ashwagandha root is supposed to help boost testosterone, memory, better memory functions, all this stuff like that's been used in India since Turmeric has time-tested health properties to them. I forget what it says. Heart health, I think, is one of the big ones. I got to figure out what helps activate that. I think it was cinnamon. I think it was mixing with cinnamon or something. I don't remember. But anyway, so I just take one of those capsules. That's my daily routine. I was taking HMB 3 acid tablets. I'm going to finish those off. Because what I've read about the HMB versus creatine, not really, I don't want to say it's not bad for you, but there's no additional benefit, I guess, for taking the HMB on top of taking the creatine, or vice versa, I guess. So, so I'll finish those off, and the testosterone pills that I have, which really don't, I know they don't do much. I know they probably give you a little bit of a boost, but not much, but whatever. So I'll finish off what I have in those containers, but I'm going to start doing a pre-workout, and the pre-workout that I'm using is going to be the C4 Sports Ripped. You can get it at Walmart, you can get it at Giant Eagle, grocery stores, whatever. I'm not going to go to GNC and spend $60 on the same size container just to get mostly caffeine from a big name brand. I've taken different pre-workouts before, and I found that the cheaper ones seem to work better than the more expensive ones. But I'm taking the Ripped one. The Ripped one has metabolism boosters in it. So it has the L-carnitine. I think it has the CLA stuff, which will help keep the metabolism boosted up, will help me burn fat at the same time. And then I will be taking creatine. I have a canister, I guess, of tablets. It's the Muscle Tech 6-star creatine X3 or something like that. I know a lot of the trainers and bodybuilders says the only thing they really need is the monohydrate, but I bought it a while back and I'm going to use them. That's about 10-day supply, and then I have regular monohydrate as well. So I'll finish off that bottle, and then I will start using the regular stuff. So I'm not going to do a loading phase. I don't feel like I need to do a loading phase. I'm not going for like all super extreme, gigantic, wow, whatever. So I'm just going to take what I have on a normal regiment and let it do its thing. Saturate my muscles, creatine, water, whatever it does, so it can do its job without, again, not going for loading. I have no desire to get giant in like 2-3 months. So I know it's not how it actually works, but you know what I mean. But I still have a routine to build upon as well. So we're going from 3 to 10, and we're going to 5 to 6, then we're going to 6 to 5, and then we're going to 10 to 3, and then we're going into reverse pyramids and things like that after that. So I have time as I'm getting to the more heavier lifting. So, and it should only take about 3 weeks for my body to be fully saturated with creatine. So I'm perfectly fine with that. That is halfway through the first segment, or this next segment. So perfectly fine with that. So yeah, so I'm not jumping on a bunch of bandwagons and stuff. Normal stuff. Creatine, pre-workout, nothing major. And then my just normal regimen. So, like I said, I'll finish off those HMB tablets and go from there. The HMB tablets help to maintain muscle mass, help reduce muscle loss. Okay. 2 halves of the same thing there. Supposedly, it's something that older people have trouble doing. Just look at Arnold. Arnold still goes to the gym every day. He's 70. He's going to be 77 in a couple weeks, I believe. 75. He's going to be 75 in a couple weeks. born in July 30th, 1947. My dad was born July 9th, 1947, and he would have been 37. He would have been 75 yesterday if he was still here. And Sly, Sylvester Stallone, turned 76 this past week on like the 6th. Something like that. Then Van Damme also turns, I think, 62 this month as well. Just throwing that out there. But they're still in the gym. I mean, Arnold's still in the gym, but there's no way in hell Arnold is going to be able to get back to where he was. He's older. He can't make that. His muscles will not do what they do. It just happens as you're older. So the HMB tablets help to reduce the effects of aging as far as that goes. That's how that works. So, yeah. So that being said, I am done chit chatting. It's partly why I chose a 20-minute workout today as opposed to a 30 to 45-minute, well, not workout, stretch. I'm doing a guy today. I'm following along a video by a male today. Usually I have females on there doing the stretches, just because they tend to be more relaxing to watch and follow along with. They usually have more of a softer music going in the background, just more relaxing to go. But I'm going to go ahead and give this one a shot. I'm trying a whole bunch of different ones. I think I can find that says full body that's more than 20 minutes. Like I said, I prefer 30 to 45-minute stretches. But this guy is jacked. Okay, it will be it'll be linked in this video in the description. His channel will be tagged in the description along with a direct link to this video in the description as well. Also, as soon as I finish this video will be added to my stretch video playlist. So if you are watching this and you do want to try this, I would urge you to go watch his video as opposed to trying to follow along with me. Just because obviously their videos are made to follow along. Mine's kind of more of a voyeuristic watching me do it. So this one is called 20 minutes, 20 minutes, full body flexibility and mobility routine. And it says follow along in parentheses after. The name is the Obi, like Obi-Wan Kenobi, O-B-I. Vincent, O.B. Vincent. Dude is jacked. He's freaking jacked. Video is 20 minutes long total. That includes this little intro that I'm kind of in the middle of here, and then, so it's probably about 19 minutes-ish. So, if it's something that you like, again, I will have all the proper credits and links available after this. So, for those of you watching live, Obi Vincent, 20 minutes, full body flexibility and mobility routine. That is what I'm doing. So, yeah, I think that's it. So, get started. Now, I remember seeing from the screenshots, he is just in a pair of socks, so we're cool there. There was the one I did, the Has Fit one that I did on week 4. It was my week 4. They were wearing shoes, and I was like, they're wearing shoes for a stretch video, and I realized half the things they were doing, they're kind of like putting their feet in weird, you kind of need to have shoes on for it. Again, nothing really wrong with that stretch, just I wasn't too thrilled with it. Could have been a little better stretch. I didn't like the music, I didn't like their youth pastor type personas, but whatever. That's me versus them. So, all right. So here we go. have this set up this way.
Welcome back to another video.
So I don't have to
Today's
turn
video,
and
I am
stick
bringing
my
you
ass in your face or
another
anything like that.
mobility slash yoga-ish, my version of yoga-ish, and some flexibility as well. So, like I did before, it will be a follow-along. I know a lot of people asked for part 2, so I'm doing it again. I am not ready to do talk and demo at the same time because I can't walk and chew gum. So I'm going to do the exercise and then do a voiceover as I did before because you guys enjoyed that, so it makes sense. As long as you can follow the video, that's all that matters. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this one as well. So it will be slightly different to the first one. Some movements might be slightly advanced. Some things that I put in this one would not have been in the first one. So if you haven't done the first one, give that a go. So I hope you enjoyed this one. All you would need is a mat and yourself, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. Before I get started, make sure you leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video because that helps me out massively. And of course, make sure you subscribe. Any feedback will be appreciated, so leave a comment below. Yeah, we're going to go straight into the video. So first we'll start with some neck rotations. So we're going to start with taking our head from side to side. Nice and gently from side to side. If you've woken up this morning, you might have a stiff neck, or if you had a long day, just a nice way to stretch the neck and just improve mobility. And then from there we're going to bring our chin down and create a circular motion with our neck. So if you pay careful attention to the video, bring your chin down to your chest, to the side, all the way back, down to the side, and back to the start position. We're going to do a few reps. Clockwise. Okay, and now we're going to go the opposite side. So if you started clockwise, so anti-clockwise. Nice and relaxed. All the way down, all the way up. Nice circular motion. Make sure your shoulders are nice and relaxed. And then moving on to some wrist mobility. So pay careful attention. So hands facing your legs. As you can see, I'm on my knees, and what we're going to do is rock back down to my feet and then back up. Nice and gently, being very careful with this. You should feel a really nice stretch in your wrist and your forearms when you do this. Try and keep your arms as straight as possible. As you can see, I'm just being very gentle with this, not rushing it. Okay, doing a few reps on each side. This is a great stretch for your wrist. And then we'll do the other side again. Nice and gently sit down onto your legs and back up. If you can't sit all the way down, that's fine. Go as far back as you can. This is a great stretch for your forearms and your wrist. So you should really feel it on your forearms as well. It's the inner part of your forearms. Now place your arms back to back. As you can see in the video, we're going to rock from side to side. As you can see also, I'm on my knees. Just rocking gently side to side. Nice and gently. You should really feel that stretch again on your wrist. A few more. And then sitting down, we're going to create circular motions with our wrist. So both clockwise and anti-clockwise. So I like to mix it up. So a few reps clockwise, a few reps anti-clockwise. Just keep going and alternating between those two for about 10 seconds. Nice circular motions. And then moving on to some ankle mobility. So start with sitting down on your feet. We're going to come up to our toes, as you can see in the video. Lean back slightly, and then feet back down, sit down, and lean back. So toes, lean back down onto our feet, and lean back slightly.
So we are going to perform a few reps of this, just repeating the movement. You can lean as far back as you want to, and now if you want to progress this onto your toes, knees off the floor. Slowly bring your knees back down, and then down to your feet. Sit back. Onto your toes, lean back, knees off the floor. Slowly bring your knees back down, sit back down onto your feet. Nice and gently with this one. This is another great way to really work on your ankle mobility. Nice and gently down onto your feet. However, if you find that too difficult, you can stick to the original exercise. And then we will move on to some shoulder cars. So lying flat on the floor on your stomach, engage your glutes, engage your core, arms straight out ahead of you. What you want to do is lift your arms off the floor together, take them out and rotate your arms. Once you get all the way back, hinge at the elbow, rest your hands on your lower back, keep those elbows up, don't let them drop, and then extend with the elbow, bring your arms out and up in front of you. Okay, so we're going to do a few reps of these now. So lift off, take your arms all the way out, hinge at the elbow, keep those elbows up. Try and keep your arms to hover above the floor as high as you can. Try not to rest it down on the floor until you finish the entire set. Keep your arms nice and straight. Keep it hovering off that floor. Engage your glutes, engage your core. Okay, we're going to do final one. And relax. Well done. And from there, we are going to go into a plank position because we're going to be doing some scap push-ups. So plank position, shrug down and back up. Okay, make sure you keep your glutes and your core engaged throughout this. Shrug down, bring your chest down towards the floor and shrug back up. Shrug as far up as you can. This is a great way to really work on strengthening your scapula. Now, if you find the plank position too difficult, you can do it on your knees. That's absolutely fine. We're going to do a few reps on these now. And then from there, we're going to walk up. You can have your knees bent, that's absolutely fine, to a standing upright position. So what I want you to do is take a deep breath in, reach up overhead, breathe out, keeping your legs as straight as possible, clasp onto your hands, and we're going to just have a nice side to side twist, as you can see in the video. Okay, so nice deep breath in, take your hands overhead and back down. Nice, and rotate side to side. Try and have your legs as straight as possible if you can. And we will do one more. Standing up, take a deep breath in. This time I want you to try and touch your toes. Try and touch your toes if your legs are straight as possible. However, if you find this difficult, that's absolutely fine. Stop where your hamstrings would only allow you to. But if you can, grab onto your toes, and we're going to hold that for a few seconds. Make sure you focus on your breathing as well. Don't forget to breathe throughout these exercises. That's very important. Hold for a few seconds and slowly back up. Well done. And from the standing position, we're going to perform a Jefferson curl. So chin down to your chest, pay careful attention, roll your shoulders forward and down. This is a great spine mobility and flexibility exercise. It's a great T-spine exercise. So, and come all the way back up. Again, chin down, roll your shoulders, nice and gently down. This is more a lower back and your spine exercise than it is a hamstring exercise. So you can bend your knees, that's absolutely fine, but just focus on tucking that chin in and rolling your shoulders down. Okay, we'll do one more. All the way down and all the way up. Well done. And from that standing position, we're going to roll all the way down again and hands walk out, as you can see, into a downward dog. Okay, so this is a great shoulder and hamstring stretch. Now, if you struggle with keeping your legs flat on the floor, you can bend your knees, that's absolutely fine. Keep your arms as straight as possible because we really want to focus on those shoulders. As straight as possible if you can with your hands. However, you can also bring your heels off the floor if you feel like that might be a little bit more comfortable for you as well. So just hold it in a few more seconds. 3, 2, 1, and relax. What you're going to do now is pay careful attention to the video. So bring your right leg towards your elbow. Take the left leg up, bend the knee slightly, and reach up overhead. Keep your arms as straight as possible. This is a great hip and T-spine mobility exercise. Again, reach up overhead with a nice twist. Now, if you struggle with keeping that leg up, the left leg, bring it down to the floor on your knees and perform the exercise. Get a few more reps. And then what we're going to do is go back down onto your knees and sit onto your left leg. So pay careful attention to the video. With your right hand, grab onto your left leg and your left arm down on the mat. Really stretch those quads. It's a great quad stretch. So we're going to really hold this for at least 10 to 15 seconds. Try and keep your chest up. Really focus on holding this stretch. If you struggle with this, you can use a towel to hold that leg up. That's absolutely fine. A few more seconds. 2, 1, and relax. So what you're going to do now is go down onto all fours and we're going to come back up and repeat the same thing on the other side. So into a downward dog, and then we will take our left leg down to our left elbow. Okay, bring the right leg up, knee slightly bent, and reach up overhead. Again, don't forget, if you struggle, you can go into your knees, as you can see in the video. A few more reps. And then again, with your left hand, grab onto your right ankle into that quad stretch. Remember also to progress this, you can move your hands forward slightly to really get into that stretch, and also this will make this not only a quad stretch but a great hip flexor stretch as well. So we're going to hold this for another 5 seconds, and then we're going to go into a nice hip internal and external rotation. So you internally rotate one leg and externally rotate the other. So left leg in, right leg out. And nice and gently with it, bring your knees as close to the floor as possible. Now, if you want to progress this, what I want you to do is then, if you pay attention to the video, take your hands off the floor, as you can see, and then an internal and external rotation, and with a hip extension at the top. So all the way back down.
You can't do that.
Another internal external rotation, hip extension.
I don't know. I'm gonna try.
Nice and gently with this. Again, don't rush this. Take your time.
That's what he's doing.
And up. Okay, if you
I
struggle
can do it.
with doing this because it is quite difficult, you can stick to doing the internal and external rotations with your hands on the floor. That's perfectly fine.
Never know unless you try.
So now I want you to have your back laying down with your back on the floor, hands up, stretched up towards the ceiling. Keep your arms straight and perform a glute bridge. Try and make sure you engage your lower back and your glutes. You're going to lift one leg up and back down. Make sure to keep that bridge formation. Okay? Don't let your lower back sink down to the floor. Engage your glutes. And we're just going to do some marches. Nice and gently up and down. This is not as easy as it looks. So make sure you keep the glutes and core engaged. Don't let it drop down. You want a nice line all the way across performing this. Last rep. And relax. Well done. From there, we're going to go into a cradle rock. So bring your knees up towards your chest, grab onto your shins. As you can see in the video, we're going to now gently rock back and forth. This is another great spine mobility exercise. So rock all the way down to your lower back and to your upper back. Nice and gently rocking back and forth. Trying to keep that hollow position. So very similar to a hollow rock. A few more. Well done. We will finish with Shavasana. So legs down to the floor, arms down to your sides, close your eyes, and we're going to focus on our breathing. So 2 to 3 seconds, deep breath in. And out through your mouth. Try and fill your stomach and your chest up with as much air as possible. Deep breath in. And out through your mouth. Okay, try and do 3 to 4 seconds now. Deep breath in. And out through your mouth. Listen to the sounds around you, whether it's birds, cars, the silence. Try not to focus on anything that's stressing you, or what's to come for the day, or what happened in the day. Just keep your mind nice and clear. If your mind starts to wander off, that's perfectly fine. Bring it back to the room and just relax. Focusing on that breathing. Deep breath in and out through your mouth. Take your time, 60 seconds, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, as long as you need. When you finish, come back up nice and gently. I'm going to leave you now, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next video.
Okay, so that definitely wasn't really a real stretch video. But then again, it didn't claim to be a stretch video. It's flexibility and mobility routine. So it's more of a moving routine, which is probably why I avoided using it so long. So yeah, that's probably not exactly what I'm looking for. And if I had time throughout the day to watch these videos first, I'd probably find one. So far, there's a couple of them that I really like. And to be honest with you, I think it was 2 weeks ago. It was Mad Fits, and it was her beginner. It was a 20-minute beginner stretch video. And it even says for the inflexible, and I'm flexible. I mean, I can drop down the splits right now. I can have my arm around the back of my head like this. I'm not a contortionist or anything, but I'm very flexible, especially for a 44-year-old male. And that was for 20 minutes for a video for inflexible people. Again, you can stretch as far as you want to. She goes, just take it over here. It's good. Next thing I'm going like this, or spread your legs, and I'm going to full split, But the entire routine, especially for 20 minutes, was really, really good. That was probably by far my favorite of the ones that I've done. Last week's was pretty good. It was a Sydney Cummings video. Howdy set? Howdy set? Whatever her married last name is now. She added it on probably since between the time I did that video and the time that I did the first video. She also had a baby too. But anyway, Sydney Cummings, she has some good stretch videos. The Mad Fit videos were really good. I like the Jessica Richburg one that I did. Was it Growing Ananas? That was pretty decent. Except I had to read aloud the prompts. I had to watch the video to make sure I knew what the prompts the next thing was, as opposed to them just saying it. Guys, top of my list for stretch videos, full body stretch videos, is going to be Mad Fit. Hers are really, really good. She instructs them very well, leads you through them, and actually hits pretty much every body part for the most part in all of them. So, at least the two that I've done so far. The first one was a little more leg focused than the other one, than the last one, but the last one was pretty good. So, those would be my two recommendations: Sydney Cummings and Mad Fit would definitely recommendations. Nothing wrong with that video at all. Nothing wrong with what he was doing. That is definitely something that's good for you, for, like he said, flexibility and mobility. But what you have to remember, and what I have to remember, is that flexibility routine does not mean a stretching routine. It just helps you be more flexible with what you're doing. Doesn't mean it's actually stretching. If that makes any sense. So, anyway, good video. Not exactly what I was wanting it to be, basically. But then again, that's my fault for not watching it first and not paying attention to the fact that it's a stretching. I just took flexibility routine and saw the screenshots of him doing the triangle pose, reverse triangle pose, whatever the hell he was doing on the ground. Where you're in the runner's position and stretch out like that. Whatever that one's called. So I'm like, okay, yeah, that's it, but it wasn't exactly what I was looking for. Again, nothing wrong with it. It will be in the stretch video playlist afterwards, even though it wasn't technically a stretch video. So there was a little stretching, obviously the quad stretch, hamstring stretch in there. Whatever. Anyway, but I do feel a little better after doing it, so I guess it's still a win. So anyway, yeah, I think I'm going to start probably live streaming on Facebook tomorrow. As well, maybe, I'm not sure, I don't know, I haven't figured it out yet. Kind of want to, but I kind of don't. I don't really honestly see a point, but then again, live streaming on 3 platforms, recording for another one, I was like, why not, just do it. I don't want to tie up my phone. I like having my phone free. I don't have an extra one yet. Another one. Because those tablets suck. Alright, so anyway, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, all the same username. So whatever you're watching me on, you can check me out on the other platforms as well, if you would like to. All the workout videos, the daily videos that I'm live streaming are being recorded on a camcorder in the corner here for me to edit and put text overlays and photo overlays like as I would need to earlier when I was saying pictures. So you can see what I'm talking about as well. Yeah, and those get uploaded to YouTube in the workouts playlist, which is up to date as of today, yesterday's video. So currently completely up to date. The stretch video playlist on there, as I've mentioned, has all the stretch videos that I've followed along with, followed along to, with a preposition, they don't need to. Since week 3. Week 1 and week 2 were beach body videos that had that got snapped up right away by copyright, so I had to overlay music over the video so the audio wasn't there. But week 3 until this week, obviously so far, have all been different stretch videos by different, sometimes the same, fitness instructors, influencers, whatever, on TikTok, on YouTube. So the videos that I followed are in that stretch video playlist. They're not my videos, they're their videos in that. So every day 7 since week 3, week 3, day 7, week 4, day 7, etc. in my workouts playlist are me doing the video. So the fitness journey playlist on YouTube contains everything that I have posted to TikTok and shared amongst the other platforms as well. So everything from my decision to start working out again back in April to the description of the workout, all the details on what I'll be doing for this year-long routine I have set up, and then every update video as well, including my decision to grow a rat tail until I get to the weight and body fat percentage and shape that I want to be in. And then I'll cut it off. Then I'll maybe cut it off. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. And it's funny. It's been 30 years since I've actually had one. I had one in 1992. I think I probably cut it off that summer, most likely. So, yeah, just about the same time frame. Cut it off. 30 years later, growing it again. Again, like I said, if y'all are bringing back the mullets and the 80s mustache, then I'll bring back the fucking track tape. So, fuck you. So anyway, so yeah, that is my TikTok. That is my YouTube for the most part. There's a couple other videos of me like singing along the songs in my car. One song that I actually wrote, which I sang horribly, and the music is not the best. music is great music. It's just it's done on step recording on a MIDI type keyboard, and then me singing over it in this basement with cheap equipment and my poor vocals. So, beautiful song, just not beautifully done. And I would love for somebody to actually do it beautifully. I need a female singer to sing that song, because that's what it needs. It's written for a female part. Doesn't have to be, but it's written for a female part. I would just love it. Out of all the songs that I've written, which is not a good, it's about 2 handfuls, so a lot of different lyrics, but full compositions. That's the one I would love to hear actually be sang. If any of them. Love to hear them all sang and recorded professionally, but that one in particular for sure. Anyway, that's my YouTube. Instagram has the weekly updates since week 1. Kind of uploaded them late, but from week 1 until now, they have all the weekly updates, all the highlight reels that I make of each week's workouts, and then the weekly progress pictures will be up there as well. So if you want to go check out the progress pictures by themselves, they are on Instagram. They also have a lot of my artwork on there. So yes, I write songs, I do art. I'm not the best. It's a hobby. I enjoy it. And a bunch of other stuff on there. Twitch is just Twitch. I just live stream on Twitch. I don't think there's anything else that I can do on there. I don't know for sure. But TikTok here is my main account. All the information, as I think I mentioned a little bit ago, goes to TikTok first. I have 2 playlists on there. It's basically the second and the third playlist that you see on my page. The first is just because I keep making all these tribute videos for celebrities who have passed over the last 6 months or so. I decided to add a playlist after I made the James Caan one last week. So that's the newest playlist, but right next to that is a weekly workout highlight reel playlist, and then the fitness journey playlist, which has all the weekly updates and all the information about the workout on there. So if you're on TikTok, that's where you can find that information. If you wish to communicate with me, feel free to on any platform. I don't care, it doesn't matter. My preference would be for you to jump over on TikTok and use the Q&A feature, or leave a comment on one of the videos in the fitness journey playlist. Or even the highlight reel playlist, just as long as it's one of the 2 playlists that have to do with the fitness aspect, because that's what you would most likely be asking a question about. So, comments, questions, concerns, again, I don't care. Whatever platform you're on, that's perfectly fine. I'll respond. I would just prefer them on TikTok so I can make a video response to you, directly linked to your comment. Then I can share that to the other platforms as well, because if it's something that would I feel I need to make a video response to, I think that other people might benefit from whatever the interaction is. Whether that's you telling me I'm doing something wrong and me admitting that I'm wrong, or you wanting to know extra information or whatever it is. So, even though that wasn't exactly the way I wanted it to go, it's a lot smoother than I did the last couple of days. Whatever my little insecure. So yeah, that's it. I'm done. First 3 months are done. Love for anybody to follow along and join me for the next 3 months and see where we get. I think this first 3 months went pretty well. I think the next 3 months will go better.